Hey, what's up, everybody? This is Kill Jadis. How's it going? And I am a grumpy Raider fan. Today's video is just, as you guys probably know from the title, yesterday the Raiders finally decided to cut our quarterback of 9 years, Derek Carr, from the team. Putting all that aside, I decided to write a letter to him, whether he gets to read this letter or not, or not read, but listen to this letter that I am about to say. Who knows? It might not, but at least it'll give me closure on what has happened. So without further ado, my letter to Derek Carr. Dear Derek Carr, I hope this letter finds you well, even though under these circumstances I can understand why you would not be well. I am Kill Jadis 907, born and raised in Alaska, 35 years on this earth, 35 years a Raider fan. I have wrote to you this letter which I now read. Whether it reaches you or not, who knows? But I am here to say my goodbyes as a member of Raider Nation. What a time it was when you stepped in, wasn't it? We knew you were a kid from Fresno State and the little brother of David Carr, a quarterback who was used and abused by the Texans. Let's not cast any shadows of doubt here. We were down bad, weren't we? We were losing a lot of games. Schwab was not the quarterback that we needed or deserved. And things seemed like it was going to go from bad to a living nightmare of having a winless season, just like the Browns and the Lions, and of course the Buccaneers. But then that one game on Thursday Night Football against the Chiefs, when you led a fourth quarter comeback and thrown a fourth quarter winning touchdown to give us our first win in the 2014 season. I knew in my heart you were our quarterback then and there. You were the quarterback that we deserved. You were the quarterback that we needed. And that game will always be a fond memory of you. And let's not forget your smirk in other games when you called timeout during the Chargers game. That game during 2021-2022, when we've got catapulted from possibly not making the playoffs to making the playoffs, under the gun of you, will also be a pleasant memory for me. Remember that 2016 season when you were unstoppable? I could not shake the feelings of joy and complete awe every time I watched you on TV. You were going to be the MVP. You were going to take us to the Super Bowl. You were going to win the Super Bowl. And you were going to be the Super Bowl MVP. But all for naught. A stroke of bad luck. And the one thing that I dreaded came true. You broke your leg. It's as if the good Lord wanted to tell us a horrible joke, as if trying to make your fate the same as your brother David's. And unfortunately, you weren't the same after that. Whether you want to admit it or not, you weren't the same after that. All the pieces started falling into their places, and this is what we are left with. You are now leaving us with no Super Bowl wins or appearances. Nine years. 4 full-time head coaches. 2 interim head coaches. 4 offensive coordinators. You were as flexible as no one could ever be. No one can say that you weren't coachable with the numbers that you put up with us and how many times you had to learn a new system. You didn't have a decent defense all those years to back you up. You didn't have an offensive line to protect you. And through all that, your talent got wasted. It is criminal how the Raiders organization treated you for your loyalty. And I will hate them for that. Unfortunately, with that negligence, also came in a glaring issue. You are not the problem of why this team could not win. But you are also not the solution either. There are things that damaged your legacy here. I held my breath every time you ran the ball. I would curse and swear at you whenever you decided to throw the ball into the ground because no one was open. A good instance was during a Chargers game. 4th down and you decided to throw it in the dirt. And that was in the 4th quarter. Game on the line. I would pull my hair from my head every time you looked in one direction because you were following your coach's direction, only to have a different wide receiver open. And nothing grinded my gears more than when you went to a press conference after every single loss and you kept telling everyone that it's all on you. All I can say is, when you go to your next team, when you dive to the end zone, use both hands on the ball. Don't give up on a play. Stop being a coach's pet when it comes to the hot routes. And can you please just be an asshole every now and then? Not everything is your fault. Throw names out. Be that asshole. I ache at your loss, Carr. You should have been the one to lead us to a Super Bowl. You were a man of God, a wonderful person off the field. You are my quarterback. I haven't felt that way about a player in a long time, ever since the days of Rich Gannon. Charles Woodson holds a special place in my heart, but you are a quarterback. You are my quarterback. And that's after years and years of not having one. And I grieve at your loss. I hate that you're leaving. Not because it happened, but because of how it happened. Both from the organization and of your actions. They should have let you finish this season before letting you go. And you should have stayed until the very end and not walk away like you did. You're not going to be a distraction. And that is wrong of you. And even though it is a business decision, it was wrong of them to do that to you. The fact that you are not trying to silence your brother when he starts talking about your situation speaks volumes. Whatever needs to be said does not need to be said until your career is over. We know the Raiders have been negligent to you. We know that they have been lazy in getting the right pieces to help you win. But your negative attributes made it to where they had no choice but to let you go. And this is where it comes to. You, another Raider player that deserves to win a Super Bowl with us, being thrown to the wayside. And unfortunately, there is nothing for us to do but to move on. I wish you the best of luck on whatever team you're playing. And I wish you nothing but success. Unless you're playing the Raiders. My loyalty is to a team, not a player. And I know you understand that. May God bless you. May His hand guide you to fulfill the plan that He has in store for you. All love and respect to you, DerekCarr. We'll see you on the other side of the field. Sincerely, KillJS907, the Grumpy Raider Fan.